and his match against India's Aditya Mehta has just begun. Best of 7 frames. With me in the commentary box, Mike Hallett. And Mehta is a very improving sort.
He certainly is, and the interest is there, of course, because we have a ranking event, full-blown ranking event in India, in Delhi, in a couple of months' time. And it's nice to see this guy on our screens. Obviously, Mark Selby, a very strong favourite in this match. As defending champion, he's come through his qualifying section on Friday. It was actually, he had a day off. In fact, he was in the audience yesterday watching a few matches, Mark Selby. But yes, an interesting encounter. No previous meetings between these two. But this lad is improving all of the time.
Green ball.
Looking to get him behind the pink and brown, I think, here.
Aditya Mehta, 9.
That's pretty good. We're down to the business end of this tournament, Phil. And it's going to be an interesting day. 4 matches these boys have to play today to win this title.
Yes, stamina is required. For someone like O'Sullivan, who wins matches quickly, it's not as much of an issue as it is for maybe Mark Selby, who sometimes has to grind.
Yes, he does, but Mark's one of the fittest guys on the circuit as well. He runs, works out, swims, does all that. Really a fit guy, as Ronnie is. Oh, he missed that red by a fraction. That might go back.
5.
There is a red on here, but it's tough from that side cushion. Now referee Ingo Schmidt replacing the balls. Just have a look at this. Just missed it. But Mark Selby, as we know, is absolutely granite. He's one of the toughest competitors in our game. And if you gain a victory against him, you've had to work hard for it. Well, that was exactly what he didn't want to do, was hit it fullish. Actually, looking at first glance, it doesn't seem too bad. There is a red on here for a detour into the right corner pocket, but it's a thin cut. Mark could have easily have left something a little bit easier than this. There's nothing there, that's all covered. Just looking at this right hand red there, that's cuttable. Mark Selby, of course, one of the favourites here this weekend. Of course, defending champion, so be 3 on the bounce, won't it, Phil, if he wins today?
Well, to win a best of 7 frame tournament on one occasion is an achievement. To win it 3 years on the trot, that would be something extraordinary. Mehta has arrived at this stage having lost only 2 frames, and he's beaten some very well established professionals, veterans, all of them. Whitewashed Tony Drago of Malta 4-0 in the first round, whitewashed Alan McManus in the last 64, and then beat Anthony Hamilton 4-2 in the last 32, and here he's forced a really good chance. Selby had to fight much harder to make the last 16. He beat Tian Peng Fei 4-2, Rod Lawler 4-1, and then came very close to losing against Martin O'Donnell. He was 3-1 down, came back to win 4-3. I think it was the penultimate frame, cleared up with 36 to win by a single point on the black. So through by the skin of his teeth.
One.
Well, he played the stun run through there. Got the stun, but not the run through.
Green ball. Aditya Mehta, 1.
Well, that was nearly a very clever shot. He was trying to get him behind the pink, obviously, but I think he has left this red onto the left corner for Mark Selby. Good pot. Just depends where the white finishes. No problem. He's on the green. Plenty of rest to go out here. Such a great match player, this guy, Phil, isn't he? He's just hard as nails.
Well, I'm full of admiration for him, not just in the way he plays, but his general attitude to snooker. He's a true enthusiast, as you said. He was in the crowd yesterday. Model professional. And a real warrior, and that's why the way he played at the World Championship last year, or last season, came as a major surprise to me. Beaten in the last 16 by Barry Hawkins. He just didn't seem himself.
Yeah, he did say that he felt exhausted, he felt tired, it was a long season. I think, you know, there is enough, it's nice to have the choice these days, isn't it? Let's not forget 3 years ago, there wasn't the choice, there was only about 9 tournaments. But I'm sure these boys are looking at their schedules, looking at their calendars and whatever, and saying, well, okay, I might just dip out of that one and concentrate on the next one after that. He's got a kick there. He's played on the blue to the middle, but he finished on the blue to the corner. So, you know, it's nice to have the choice now to be able to do that and then try and peak for the majors. But Mark's one of those players like a Stuart Bingham or a Sean Murphy that wants to compete as much as possible. And again, you've got to admire him for that. There was connotations last year about this burnout situation and all that, like we said, but I think that's gone. It's done and dusted. I think the guys appreciate now the amount of snooker that's around and the amount of tournaments they can play in. Well, I hope they do anyway. Good pot, but it's just gone a little bit wrong on the positional side. I think he was playing on the red just below the pink spot, but well, he might take this one on to the green pocket. It's tough. Oh, great shot. Well, he was slightly hampered by the red, but that's great cueing. Nicely on the pink. He's still got the chance here to convert this chance into a winning one in this opening frame.
Yes, and apart from the fact that Selby's incentivised by the fact that the winner receives €25,000 and he wants to defend the title badly, he's also the current world number 2.
26.
World number 1, Neil Robertson, out in the very first round yesterday. And the winner of this event, even though it's only a minor ranking tournament, receives 2,000 points. So it would help to close the gap.
Yes, I think that's all going on in the mind there of the Leicester man. I'm sure it is. But concentrate on things on the green base. That's all you have to do, and let everything else happen.
33.
I think he's found the gap here for the black.
Yes, just to talk about those world rankings, even if he does lift the trophy, he can't catch Robertson.
40.
But if he is successful this evening, gets his
41.
hands on the silverware, his lead over Judd Trump, who's in third place, would be absolutely substantial.
Yeah, he's 6,500 behind Robbo at the moment, but he'd be nearly, what, 8,000 in front of Judd Trump? That's a big lead, isn't it?
Yes, and Trump in turn is well ahead of Sean Murphy. So
47.
Robertson, Selby, Trump, they're the men who are going to be vying for the world #1 spot as the season progresses.
I think it's, what, three cut-off points as well during the season. They're going to be well out there, actually. It's the others that have to chase.
$55.
Lead goes to 41 then. So just red and black would be enough here to leave Aditya Mehta needing snookers. There's been 1 or 2 chances on both sides
56.
early on in this frame, but this looks like being a winning contribution. Really wanted to be on the red to the corner, could have done with 1 more red,
63.
because 2 snookers are required, and Aditya might come back here. Unless Mark can make this into a plant, of course. Is he playing safe? Yes, he is.
Mark
Keeping
Selby,
the pressure on.
63.
Great 63 from Mark Selby, and just look at that as well. A snooker laid. Great visit.
All glued together by that excellent red to the ball pocket when he'd run out of ideal position. What a feast of snooker this is for the fans in Firth. 8 tables simultaneously in operation. That's why you can hear the bursts of applause from around the arena. If you've been with us for all 3 days, you'll know that this main table has attracted large numbers of spectators. But so too have the outside tables.
You can tell by the applause, Phil, can't you? The crowds have been fantastic this weekend. They really have taken this game to their hearts in Germany. They love it. Good escape. Not too bad, actually. I think he'll settle for that reasonably, but there is this one to the green pocket, and if this goes in, the first frame is over.
Well, first impressions, Selby looks sharp. Sometimes first impressions can be misleading. Yesterday morning, Ding Junhui won the first frame against Dave Gilbert and then played appallingly for him.
But Kurt Marflin, century in the opener, and then got beat, was it 4-2 I think, by Ken Doherty. Yeah, as I say, a couple of early chances on both sides, but once Mark put that break together, I think that was really the beginning of the end of this opening frame. I agree with you, Phil, he's looking very sharp.
Hand.
I think the disappointment of the World Championship really for him is, oh hang on, let's just kick-start his season this year as the white, or just stays there. I think there's added pressure as well, that he was going for the Triple Crown, wasn't he? You know, the UK champion, Masters champion. Perhaps that added a little bit more pressure. But he's done enough in this one.
Indeed, that is the case. Mehta concedes, and so, with the aid of a 63 break, Mark Selby makes the ideal start of the day. He leads the Indian Aditya Mehta by 1-0.